They've fed civilizations for thousands of years, and now they might feed your farm, your soil, and your livestock too. Ancient grains like sorghum, triticale, and millet are making a comeback, not just for artisan breads, but for regenerative farmers looking to grow nutrient-dense crops, improve grazing, and reduce their input costs. If you're tired of the same corn and soy system and want crops that do more, stick around. This isn't about food trends. It's about soil health, forage diversity, and the return of hardy, overlooked grain crops that actually work on small and mid-sized farms. Ancient grains and overlooked cereals are gaining new interest among regenerative farmers, not just for their heritage, but for their performance. Many of these grains, like sorghum, einkorn, and teff, were nearly abandoned in favor of high-yield modern hybrids. But as input costs rise and farmers look for systems that build soil, not just extract from it, these resilient crops are proving their worth again. Here's why they matter. Resilience in tough conditions. Most ancient grains evolved in marginal environments. That means drought tolerance, cold resistance, and low fertility requirements are built-in features, not afterthoughts. For example, pearl millet can thrive on sandy soils with very little irrigation, while triticale was developed to handle poor spring soils where wheat or rye might fail. Lower inputs, better efficiency. Many ancient or underused grains don't need as much nitrogen or pesticide treatment. They're typically more resistant to pests and diseases, and some, like buckwheat, even suppress weeds on their own. Forage and feed flexibility. A key reason these crops are coming back? Dual-purpose function. You can graze many of them in early stages, then let them mature for grain, or use them purely as forage. Sorghum Sudan grass hybrids, triticale, and millet are all excellent options here. You're feeding your soil and your animals. Biodiversity equals sign stability. In regenerative systems, a diverse plant palette is key. Swapping in heritage grains instead of relying only on corn or wheat adds resilience to your system. These crops bring different root depths, different nutrient demands, and different timing, which leads to healthier fields and fewer pest disease cycles. Market opportunities. Some of these grains have specialty demand, like einkorn for gluten-sensitive bakers or teff for horse hay. Even if you're just feeding livestock, those niche markets might become valuable add-ons. A 2017 study from Washington State University even found that ancient wheats like emmer and spelt outperformed modern wheat in organic systems, not in raw yield but in nutrient density, disease resistance, and adaptability to weed pressure. In short, these grains bring traits we need now more than ever. And most of them can be grown, grazed, or intercropped with minimal change to your existing operation. Let's start with the one that's quietly fueling a forage revolution: sorghum. Whether you're growing for grain or grazing, sorghum is a smart crop for regenerative systems. It's heat-tolerant, deep-rooted, and thrives where corn falters, especially in drought-prone or low-input environments. Some farmers even call it the corn of the South, but it's a lot more versatile than that. Water efficient, sorghum uses about 1/3 less water than corn. That's thanks to its waxy leaf coating, deep roots, and C4 photosynthesis pathway, making it a go-to for dry land or limited irrigation systems. Nutrient-dense forage. Forage sorghum and sorghum Sudan grass hybrids are popular as summer grazing crops or silage. Studies from the University of Georgia show that these hybrids can yield 4-6 tons of dry matter per acre in a single growing season. Grazing use. Sorghum regrows well after grazing if not grazed too low. Ideal in rotational systems. Be mindful of prussic acid risk after frost or drought stress. Let it mature a bit and avoid grazing right after stress events. Soil health boost. The fibrous root systems of sorghum help improve tilth and organic matter, especially when used as a cover crop. It also suppresses weeds due to natural allelopathic compounds. Low fertility tolerance. While it does benefit from some nitrogen, sorghum performs better than corn in low-N soils. For regenerative systems trying to minimize synthetic inputs, this is a major plus. Bonus. You can also feed the grain to poultry, hogs, or ruminants. It's often used in whole grain feed mixes for its high energy and digestibility, with lower costs than corn in some regions. Sorghum's ability to feed the soil, the cow, and the farmer, all while shrugging off heat and drought. makes it one of the most valuable tools in a regenerative grain toolkit. Triticale, pronounced trit-ikeli, is a hybrid grain created by crossing wheat and rye. While that might not sound ancient in the traditional sense, it's been around since the late 1800s, and it's earned a place in regenerative systems thanks to its hardiness, flexibility, and impressive forage value. Triticale brings the best of both worlds. From rye, it inherits cold tolerance, vigor, and disease resistance. From wheat, it gets higher grain quality and better feed value. And that combo makes it an ideal fit for farmers looking to add resilience to their cropping and grazing systems. Excellent winter forage. Triticale can be fall planted and grazed in early spring. Its early growth is lush and palatable, and it regrows well for a second light graze or can be harvested for hay or silage. Dual-purpose use. It's one of the few grains that performs well both as forage and grain. If you're doing rotational grazing, you can graze early, then let the rest grow out and harvest grain, or vice versa. Great for silage. It produces high-tonnage silage with more protein than cereal rye. University of Wisconsin trials show that triticale silage can yield 4-5 tons of dry matter per acre, making it a popular choice in regenerative dairy systems. Soil benefits. With its dense root system, triticale is a strong soil builder. It breaks compaction better than wheat, protects from erosion, and scavenges nutrients efficiently, especially nitrogen left over from summer crops. Flexible timing. Triticale matures later than rye but earlier than wheat, which gives it a unique slot in rotation planning. That flexibility makes it a smart companion for cover crop mixes or spring grazing plans. It can lodge, fall over, if over-fertilized, especially in wet springs. Not ideal as a cash grain unless you have a nearby buyer. Grain triticale markets are limited compared to wheat or rye, but for regenerative farmers looking to maximize ground cover, reduce feed costs, and add resilience to winter and spring forage, triticale is a top-tier choice. Pearl millet might just be the most underrated warm-season forage in North America. This ancient grain has been grown for thousands of years in Africa and India, and it's finally getting the attention it deserves from regenerative farmers, especially those managing heat, drought, or compacted soils. So why is pearl millet making such a strong comeback? 1. Incredible heat and drought tolerance. Unlike corn or even sorghum, pearl millet doesn't flinch when the heat rolls in. It thrives in hot, dry conditions and keeps producing forage when other summer crops slow down. That makes it a great fit for dryland systems or for farmers practicing low-input grazing. 2. High crude protein. Pearl millet forage contains 16–20% crude protein, depending on the growth stage. That's as good, or better, than many cool-season grasses, especially in midsummer. It's a powerful option for finishing animals or supporting lactating does and cows on pasture. 3. Fast-growing, high-yielding. With the right conditions, pearl millet can produce 4 to 6 tons of dry matter per acre. It germinates fast, grows quickly, and can be rotationally grazed within 30–40 days of planting. You can also let it grow tall and cut it for hay. 4. No prussic acid risk. This is a big advantage over sorghum or Sudan grass. Pearl millet doesn't produce prussic acid, which can be dangerous, especially to young ruminants if grazed too soon after frost or drought. That makes it much safer for regenerative systems that prioritize grazing flexibility. 5. Excellent for soil building. Its fibrous roots break up compaction and improve water infiltration. It's also a great scavenger of nutrients and has been shown to increase soil organic matter over time, particularly when used in no-till or low-till systems with animal impact. Bonus tip. Some farmers also use pearl millet in silvopasture, planting it between rows of young trees where full sun is still available. It shades the soil, feeds livestock, and sets up the next season's growth with better moisture retention and less weed pressure. Downsides? Doesn't tolerate frost. It's a true summer annual. Requires decent seedbed prep for good establishment. Not the best for reseeding naturally. Still, for those in warmer zones or anyone needing high summer forage with real punch, pearl millet deserves a place in the mix. Barley might not be the flashiest grain on the list, but don't let its humble reputation fool you. This ancient cereal has serious potential in regenerative agriculture, especially when used for forage, grazing, or transitional cropping systems. 1. Cold tolerant but quick maturing. Barley can be fall planted in milder regions or spring planted in northern climates. What sets it apart is its early maturity. It finishes quicker than wheat or oats, making it a great option for short windows between perennial pasture rotations or before summer plantings. Some varieties are harvestable in as little as 60-70 days. 2. Excellent forage value. For livestock, barley forage is highly palatable and nutritious. According to University of Minnesota forage trials, barley hay or silage contains 12–16% crude protein and good digestibility. It's a great option for growing goats, lactating ewes, or grass-fed beef herds needing spring or early summer feed. 3. Dual use, grain plus grazing. If timed right, barley can serve as both early forage and a grain crop. You can rotationally graze in the boot stage, then let it regrow for grain harvest. Or plant it with a nurse crop like peas or vetch to add nitrogen and bump forage protein even higher. 4. Improves soil and suppresses weeds. Barley establishes quickly and forms a dense canopy, making it ideal for weed suppression. It also breaks up compaction with its root system and is often used as a nurse or transition crop between perennial pastures. 5. Ideal for northern farmers. In regions with short growing seasons or late snowmelt, barley is one of the most reliable spring forages you can plant. It's often ready to graze well before warm season grasses wake up. Caution: barley is not heat tolerant and doesn't do well in prolonged dry, hot weather, so southern farmers may want to use it only in shoulder seasons or as a winter annual. But for regenerative graziers in cool or temperate zones, barley delivers solid nutrition, versatility, and soil benefits, with fewer inputs than other cereal grains. More grains. Making a comeback. Einkorn, emmer, and heritage rye. While the grains we've covered so far have clear agronomic and forage advantages, there's a growing interest in ancient and heritage grains that can bring unique benefits to regenerative farms. Let's highlight 3 of these: einkorn, emmer, and heritage rye. Einkorn is one of the oldest cultivated wheat species, dating back over 10,000 years. Though it has lower yields compared to modern wheat, einkorn is prized for its nutrient density and digestibility. Some small-scale farmers are experimenting with einkorn as a forage and grain dual-purpose crop, especially in regenerative or low-input systems. It's hardy, disease-resistant, and thrives in poor soils, making it a great choice for diverse crop rotations that build soil health. Emmer wheat, another ancient relative of modern wheat, offers similar benefits. It's more robust under stress and can produce decent forage and grain with minimal fertilizer. Emmer has a unique flavor and is seeing a renaissance among artisan bakers and specialty grain markets, which can create niche marketing opportunities for farmers. Heritage rye, sometimes called winter rye, is a cold, hardy grain with great forage value. Rye grows well in poor soils, establishes quickly, and produces abundant biomass for grazing or cover cropping. While modern rye varieties exist, heritage rye strains often have more genetic diversity, which can help farms build resilience against pests and disease. Rye is especially good for suppressing weeds and improving soil organic matter. All 3 of these grains fit well into regenerative rotations, improving soil structure, feeding livestock, and diversifying farm income streams. Ancient and heritage grains aren't just a nod to the past, they're powerful tools for regenerative farmers today. Whether it's the drought-hardy sorghum, versatile barley, or unique einkorn and emmer, these crops build soil, provide quality forage, and offer exciting market opportunities. If you're looking to diversify your farm's forage and feed options, consider giving these grains a place in your rotation. They can help reduce inputs, improve resilience, and support healthy livestock nutrition. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future deep dives into regenerative farming topics. And drop a comment below. What grains are you most excited to try on your farm?